Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. We are on two channels at the same time. We're on the main channel, which is Martyn Lucas Investor, and we are covering Rumble earnings. It starts in half an hour. The Rumble earnings comes up in half an hour. If you're watching on the extra channel, you are watching the Mobix earnings. The Mobix earnings starts also in half an hour. So in half an hour from now, I will stop speaking, and on the main channel, I will broadcast the Rumble earnings, and on the extra channel, I will broadcast the Mobix earnings. Okay? We are doing two channels at the same time. How about that? How about that? So this is a little bit exciting. Unfortunately, Sensei couldn't do the earnings for us this evening. So I didn't want to let anyone down because many of you wanted Rumble. 70% of you wanted Rumble. 30% of you wanted Mobix. So we wanted to make sure that we've covered both earnings live at the same time. So there we go. All right. Excellent. Let's just sit back and relax now for a few minutes. This was the easy part. Getting it to work like this was the easy part. The hard part is to be monitoring the audio and when the earnings begins. Okay? The earnings is half an hour away. So we're very excited about this. So what I'm going to do now, while I'm talking to you, extra is Mobix, main channel is Rumble. What we're going to do is I'm going to put this on social media because we've got a bit of time. We've got half an hour. I'm nice and early. So we're going to start off with our Rumble promotion. So Rumble, there we go. Rumble earnings live now on YouTube. Crag, you're very welcome. I didn't want to cancel. I've let you down so much already with Funware that we had to find a way to be able to do two shows at once. So hopefully this will work. It's working so far, right? But the hard part is when the audio starts. That's when it gets a bit more difficult. So anyway, I'm sure I'll be fine. Rumble. I'll be promoting Mobix in a moment. If you're on the extra channel, we've got Mobix earnings coming up shortly. In half an hour from now. So stick with me for the Mobix earnings. On the extra channel, on the main channel, we're here with Rumble earnings. Okay, so we're just putting it now on social media so everyone knows where each event is happening. And we're all good. I've never done two earnings before at the same time, but I think I can do it. If you're watching me on the extra channel, we are about to start the Mobix earnings very shortly. And on the main channel, we are doing the Rumble earnings. I'll be popping in a moment to visit my Rumble audience on Rumble, as you do, and hopefully they're joining me on Rumble as well. If you've just tuned into the extra channel, we are covering Mobix. I'm running on two channels at the same time, but when the earnings start, I will stop talking, of course, and present the earnings, the audio for each individual channel separately, obviously. That would be a bit weird, wouldn't it, if I didn't? Okay. Let me check in on Rumble. Hopefully I should be live on Rumble now, and you're tuned in with me for the Rumble earnings. It does look like you are with me. Great. Thank you. We are early. We've got 27 minutes to go. So thanks to you for tuning in early. we are on the extra channel as well, doing our Mobix earnings. Okay, so now I'm going to put the Rumble earnings on my social apps. Here we go. Then I'll come back and do Mobix. Mobix is on the extra channel. We've got 27 minutes to go. You won't miss anything. We're nice and early. We'll always try to be early. Okay, so first of all, I go into Blossom, and this is Rumble. There we go. Okay. There we go. There's Rumble. And now we're going to visit Trading 212. This is on the app. Let's go there now. This is this is great. I love stuff like this. Challenge. Is everybody okay on the extra channel? Mobix earnings is just 25 minutes away. It hasn't started yet. I will be with you shortly. There's nothing to do just yet. We're just preparing both events. Let's see if Rumble has a community on Trading 212. Sorry, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have a community, and they don't have a community for everything. But there you go. Let's just put it in news. Okay, there we go. Rumble earnings call. I'll be doing Mobix in a second. Okay. Right, there's that. And lastly, I go into Webull. And I've covered all the main networks then. So here we go. We're just posting the event on Webull right now. And I'll be doing exactly the same thing for Mobix in a second on the extra channel. Be interesting to see how many people, which is the busiest channel. It'd be quite funny if it'd be funny if Mobix is busier tonight, wouldn't it? Anyway, we shall see. So RUM, RUM is the ticker symbol. And let's add the link to the event. Copy. Allow paste. Okay. All right. We have done that. Now we're going to return and we're going to do the same thing for Mobix. We've still got 20 minutes to go. Exactly. So we've got some time. So let's do that now. This is the Mobix earnings. So we'll go into social media. If you can help me out by hello there. Awesome. I'm listening to you now. We've got somebody here from Mobix who's joined us in the chat. Thank you. I'm going to talk to you now. It'll be easier. This is Hex OG. Thank you. What we're doing tonight, we are unfortunately my co-host who runs the extra channel when I'm doing a earnings on the main channel couldn't do it, unfortunately. So rather than cancel the event, I am doing both at the same time. So when we get to the earnings in 20 minutes time, I will stop talking and the extra channel will broadcast Mobix and the main channel will broadcast Rumble. But I will do two earnings broadcasts at the same time from my studio. So there we go. Thank you very much for reaching out to me and being a contact for me from Mobix. We do have a Meet the CEO series And we've had lots of CEOs already on and lots coming up. Your colleagues might like to be on the show. So talk to me about that. Okay, so now I'm putting out Mobix. Here we go. MOBX. Let's have a look. MOBX. We've got 20 minutes to go, so we are nice and early. Mobix live now on YouTube. I think I've just got a message coming from you. Just bear with me a second as I'm just putting this event out. Pop into the chat. If you're listening to me on the extra channel, pop into the chat. Say hello. You do need to be a member. It's 99 cents. It stops the bots and the scammers ruining things. It only took 99 cents to get rid of all the scammers and the bots, and it's very, very well worth it. And we've been like that ever since we started the channel. Mobix Labs. And there we go. Martyn Lucas Investor. Okay, Mobix is 20 minutes to go. Rumble is 20 minutes to go. Rumble is main channel. Mobix will be on the extra channel. Bear with us. The event hasn't started yet. Okay. I'm now posting Mobix onto my socials. I have about 10 different places I put this to. So that's what we're doing now. Mobix earnings live. There we go. New note. There we go. This is the last thing I need to do. Once I've done this, we can be able, by that time, we should be able to bring in the audio from Mobix. I'm working on that. That's super exciting. Thank you again. I'm working on that. Yes. Wouldn't it be exciting? Yes, it would be indeed. Right. Okay. Let me tag in to here. Mobix themselves. There are different sites that cover this. Whoops a daisy. Mobix Group, not that one. Mobix Labs. Let's make sure it's the right one. There it is. We don't have an investor group for some reason. It's a shame. Somebody needs to set up a group for that. I'm trying to become a member. I'm on your YouTube now. Give me a couple of minutes. Okay, wonderful stuff. It looks like we're about to get a member from Mobix on the extra channel. Become a member on the extra channel. So when Mobix comes in, please give them a great welcome, please. That would be very, very nice. If you see Mobix come in, this person works at Mobix. All right, who I'm talking to right now. Okay, we're putting it on Instagram. Mobix comes up. The earnings is in 20 minutes, or in fact, just slightly short. This is their first earnings call, I believe. This is their first earnings call, so we are very happy to report this. And we will trend #1 on YouTube for it. Unfortunately, we couldn't be on the main channel tonight because we're already doing Rumble, and my co-host couldn't cover this tonight himself, so I am doing it like this. But we didn't want to miss it for everybody concerned. So I'm managing to do 2 at the same time. Okay, I've just about finished all our socials. If you want to repost these and comment, they are on every major platform. I've done it everywhere. If you just tuned in, to the Rumble earnings on the main channel, hello. Please tap the like button and subscribe. If you're on the extra channel, I am doing Mobix earnings, doing both myself on both channels at the same time. We've got 15 minutes to go. Okay, I've put that out on all the socials. I've just done eToro. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is come back and make sure the channels look good. Extra channels looking good. Mobix. And the main channel for Rumble's looking good. Okay, we're looking good. Now I'll go over to the socials. The trading apps, that is. So here we go. Let's take out Rumble and we're on to Mobix now. Once I've done this, we're ready to start. We should be ready to start. Copy. So we'll first of all go into Blossom. Mobix earnings. Here we go. Mobix earnings call. Great new app here. I'll use this. This is Mobix in Blossom, sorry. Ticker symbol MOBX. There we go. It's their first earnings call tonight, so it's very exciting. Okay, that's now done for Blossom. Now we're going to go into Trading 212. Let me see if Mobix has a community. Probably not, but let's have a look if they do. MOBX, I doubt if they do yet. It's created by Trading 212, not you or the creator. No, they don't, so I'm going to do it in just general news. News. Here we go. This is Mobix earnings. Okay. And all I've got to do after this is Weeble and I'm good to go. We can start the earnings, but we've got 15 minutes to go. If you are tuning in to the main channel, I'm doing Rumble earnings in 15 minutes. If you're tuned in to the extra channel, I'm doing Mobix in 15 minutes. 2 channels at the same time. And there we go. There we go. There's Mobix on Trading 212. And now, finally, we go into Weeble. And everyone knows about everything, right? Okay, here we go. Make a post. Weeble learn. Allow paste. Weeble has a weird thing where you have to allow it to paste every single time you go in. No idea why that is. Anyway. Here we go. So we add the ticker. MOBX. And the link. And then after this, we are done. I'll check the audio on both feeds. Copy. Delete all those. I like to tidy myself up as I go. Okay. And last but not least, the link, Weeble, and post. Done. We are ready to rock and roll. Right, shut that down, and we're good. Now what I'm going to do is check the audios on both streams, make sure that we've got everything coming through. We've only got another 10 minutes to go, so we're ahead of schedule for the earnings call this evening. Rumble on the main channel and Mobix on the extra channel. Okay, now then, let me come back to the main channel and check our audio feeds, make sure we are good. If you can tap the like button, that would be great on both channels. And please do click subscribe, ring the bell. That really, really helps the channels. Thank you so much for doing that. It shares it out to more people. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for doing that. I see you've done it. Oh, I see. Hi, Martin. It's good to be here. Hex OG. Yes, you are on the main channel. How are you? Hex OG. This person here works at Mobix, and he has just popped into the main channel to say hello. The extra channel is members only. It's only 99 cents to be a member, but that's how it works. Now then, let me check. Make sure we've got all the audio running for Rumble. I know we do, but we're going to check anyway. I'm going to refresh the screen because we're now under 15 minutes. There it is. It's coming through lovely. This is Rumble. I'm going to come back to the extra channel in a second. There's Rumble. There's the chart. Looking very nice indeed. Okay, okay, okay. Marvellous. Bloody marvellous. And let's now go and do the same thing on the extra channel for Mobix. So here we go. Let's go over to Mobix right now. I'll take my microphone over this part of the studio. And you are listening in to Mobix. I'm going to... I want to change something already. Let me get rid of... got too many screens. I've got, I think, 16 screens in the studio. And I've just noticed that one of my screens is... yeah. We don't want that. Martyn's iPad Pro. We don't want that. Martyn's Mac Studio. We don't want that either. Martyn's Mac Studio. We don't want that.
Steve Orlovsky has become a member on Extra.
That's all we need. There we go. That's better. Steve Orlovsky. Hello, Steve. Are you Hex? Are you the gentleman from Mobix? So let me now bring up this. We should be... I'm going to refresh it. There is the broadcast. Let me check the audio. Here we go. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen in to... It's quite a challenge, but I'm enjoying the challenge here. So let me go into the extra channel. There we go. That all works. Flipping brilliant. All right, there's Mobix. We're going to keep on the screen just for the moment the chart. We don't need anything else for the moment. I will come back in a moment. And I will start that as soon as that is available. And then I'll mute myself so you won't hear me talking. And we'll take over with the earnings. Excellent. So I think I'm good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up both of these windows so I can monitor both from here. Let's mute that. Okay. Right. We did it. We're 8 minutes to go. We are running two events at the same time on two different channels. And we've just got a new guest. Welcome to special guest, Steve. I don't know if Steve is the gentleman from Hex OG. If he is, he's the person that works at Mobix, and it's their very first earnings tonight, so we're very excited about that. So we're about to start. So what I'm going to do is, just for a moment, I'm just going to go to the restroom and freshen up. We are just 7 minutes away. I'm going to play some music just for a moment, And when I come back, I'll be starting the broadcast for Rumble on the main channel, and I'll be starting the broadcast for Mobix on the extra channel. This is very, very exciting news. We've got CEOs coming up on the show. We've got loads of loads of earnings coming up over the next week or so. We've got Asti, the CEO, coming into the studio live with me. WidePoint, the CEO, is going to be on a video call with me. And there's many more. There's about 6 or 7, I believe, that we are talking with now and negotiating everything at the moment. So there's quite a bit coming up for you. So I'll see you back in just a couple of minutes and go and freshen up. And here's a bit of background music. In the meantime, get ready for Rumble on the main channel, Mobix on the extra channel. Please do like and subscribe to either channel. Help this be successful. It's quite a challenge. I'm doing 2 events at the same time, and I'm loving it, and it's great. See you back in just a moment. Okay, we are back. We are 3 minutes to go for the earnings. Now, do expect the earnings to always go 1 or 2 minutes late. It's just the way these things are. They always tend to go a couple of minutes late. I've never known why, but they just do. And that's the way it is. Okay, so we're just waiting now. We have 2 minutes to go. They won't start on time. There's always a minute or two late. The worst was 20 minutes. That was the worst one ever. Hopefully that won't happen tonight. Hi, John. Did you hear when he joined the membership? It echoes. Yes, I did hear the echo. Okay. So what is that? When can I get the chance to see that? Let me have a look. When was that? When did that happen? I wonder if I get a chance to see that. That was 5 minutes ago, was it? Right, there we go. Let's have a look here. Steve Orlowski. Hello. We don't want that.
Steve Orlowski has become a member on Extra.
Oh, that's... I see. I kind of get that. I get why that's doing that. It shouldn't do it. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. It won't do it on... It won't do it on... Yeah, because that will be... Yeah, it's because it's being sent and it's system. I could turn system audio off and it wouldn't do it. I see. I get it. I know why it's doing that. I could turn system audio off. Could turn sound effects off. And then it would only do it once. Yes. I'm going to stop that from doing that. Okay, here we go. It shouldn't do it now.
HexOG donated 99 cents a super chat on Extra.
Hey, Hex. Right, here we go. Listening in. I'm listening in now to the audio. So we're just waiting now for the earnings to begin. Any second now. Okay, the moment it starts, we'll be off. So we're just about to begin. 2 earnings at the same time.
Results conference call. Please be advised today's conference is being recorded. And
okay, I'm starting it on here. Okay, the main earnings are started on Mobix and Rumble.
Conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. A brief question and answer session will follow the formal presentation.
Okay,
if
we're
anyone
off and running.
should require operator assistance during the conference, please press *0 on your telephone keypad. As a reminder, this conference is being recorded. It is now my pleasure to introduce your host, Shannon Devine, Investor Relations. Thank you. You may begin.
Thank you, operator. I'm here today with Chris Pavlovski, founder, chairman, and CEO of Rumble, Brandon Alexandroff, the CFO, and Tyler Hughes, the COO. A press release detailing our first quarter 2024 results was released today and available on the Investor Relations section of our company website. Before we begin the formal presentation, I would like to remind everyone that statements made on the call and webcast may include predictions, estimates, or other information that might be considered forward-looking. All forward-looking statements are made only as of the date of this webcast and should be considered in conjunction with the cautionary statements in our earnings release and the factors included in our filings with the SEC. Future company updates will be available via press release and company updates via the company's identified social media channels. I will now turn the call over to Rumble's founder, chairman, and CEO, Chris Pavlovski.
Thank you, Shannon. Though it hasn't been long since our last update, I would like to reiterate the major achievements of our first quarter, led by the public launch of Rumble Cloud and Rumble Studio. While both products are still in their very early innings, we are highly encouraged by their market reception. For Rumble Cloud, we launched our initial cloud computing offering and successfully secured 2 key strategic partnerships, ACP Creative IT and Kinshift, to help augment and deliver our initial suite of products for the mid-market and enterprise segments. While we recognize that sales cycles can extend to several months due to the mission-critical nature of cloud services, we have seen great receptivity to our value proposition, which addresses some of the major pain points in the cloud market, including security and unpredictable costs. As a result, we have been able to successfully generate and advance many sales conversations with mid-market and enterprise customers. As we advance sales cycles, we will continue to augment our offering based on the feedback we receive from customers, which will extend our addressable market and accelerate our ability to capture a larger share. For Rumble Cloud, we expect to see meaningful results during the back half of 2024. Now turning to Rumble Studio, which has seen tremendous early results with over 2,000 creators adopting the product. These creators include Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Glenn Greenwald, Dave Rubin, and Donald Trump Jr., just to name a few. The studio is the new cockpit for our creators where they can simplify their live streaming experience by easily streaming video to multiple platforms, inviting guests, and engaging with their audiences. Most importantly, Rumble Studio will be a new scalable vehicle for creators to monetize their live content through our patent-pending technology to facilitate host-read advertising through the platform. While we continue to test the underlying technology and optimize the experience for both the creator and advertiser, we expect Rumble Studio to be a key enabler for us to automate and scale our host-read advertising revenue stream. One of the best ways we plan to drive host-read ads at volume is through Rumble-branded product lines. In Q1, we entered into a partnership to launch Rumble-branded 1775 coffee and have seen very promising results. March coffee sales by our partner were up 43% over February, and April sales were up 68% over March. The strategy in entering partnerships to create products that fill excess advertising inventory is working so well that we have decided to launch multiple new products in the coming months. We believe the Rumble Studio technology can drive meaningful scale to this revenue line in the coming years with nearly zero investment. Both the Studio and Cloud round out the foundation of our portfolio, consisting of our flagship Rumble video platform, our new live streaming service, Rumble Studio, our advertising platform, Rumble Advertising Center, and of course, our new infrastructure as a service offering, Rumble Cloud. During the first quarter, Rumble Advertising Center, or RAC, began deploying pre-roll video ads across our mobile apps. We also continued expanding our ad inventory by onboarding publishers to the RAC network, which is a massive long-term opportunity for us, as it was for Google with AdSense. We have seen great progress in growing the publisher network on RAC, with the recent onboarding of Breitbart, The Gateway Pundit, Drudge Report, just to name a few. Outside of inventory expansion, we continue to build our sales and marketing teams as we drive demand to the platform, where we are seeing great results through direct response, particularly in the financial services, health products, and e-commerce. We are also making meaningful progress with brand advertisers. The first quarter reflected a transitionary period during which we completed the final leg of our core building phase, brought our monetization tools online, and began to ramp our focus on revenue as the quarter progressed. With this enhanced focus on revenue, we are on track to deliver sequential revenue increase starting in the second quarter. Given this transition and focus towards monetization, we plan on introducing average revenue per user, or ARPU, as a key business metric later this year. Compared to our existing metrics of estimated minutes watched per month and hours of uploaded video per day, this new key business metric will better reflect our management's evolving assessment of the business and our priority to monetize our core user base. Our average MAUs for the first quarter were 50 million, representing our 9th consecutive quarter of over 40 million MAUs, further solidifying our core audience as we head into an exciting back half of the year with the U.S. election cycle. While we have historically had to spend money to incentivize certain prominent creators to join our platform to diversify our content and build out our user base, we believe this will become less and less necessary. This is because the new monetization assets built within our platform are designed to incentivize creators, driving organic growth through new content, and will ultimately continue to add to our core user base. As a result, expenses from commitments to creators have started to reduce as agreements come to a close. We expect this trend to continue as we progress throughout the year and into early 2025. As I close, I want to reiterate that we are now officially through our building phase as a company and have turned focus to executing and delivering top-line growth. While growing sequentially quarter after quarter, we took our time, built the right products, and are now on track to deliver. Finally, I'd like to mention that we recently filed a second antitrust lawsuit against Google based on Google's monopolization of the online advertising market, with damages estimated in excess of $1 billion. This lawsuit is separate from our existing self-preferencing lawsuit against Google, where we have seen early success and are nearing the end of fact discovery. In addition to the billions in potential damages from both lawsuits, we're also seeking injunctive relief. If we are successful in these lawsuits, Rumble and other platforms can finally have a level playing field in search traffic, mobile apps, and online advertising, which we expect would lead to a material increase to our MAUs and advertising revenue. With that, I'll turn the call over to our CFO, Brandon Alexandrov.
Thanks, Chris. I'll now take you through our first quarter financials at a very high level before turning the call over to the operator for Q&A. For the first quarter of 2024, we reported revenues of $17.7 million compared to $17.6 million for Q1 2023. Other services and cloud revenues increased by $3.2 million, offset by a decrease in advertising revenues of $3.1 million. The increase in revenue from other services and cloud is driven mainly by subscriptions, tipping features, and cloud services offered. The decrease in advertising revenue is mostly related to sponsorship revenue. As we've mentioned, the manual processes inherent in our sponsorship revenue generation result in a smaller number of participants, which in turn creates volatility. With an increased focus on revenue, we intend to disaggregate our revenue into additional categories later in the year while introducing a new key business metric, average revenue per user, or ARPU, for certain revenue categories. We believe that ARPU will better reflect the focus of our management team, and accordingly, over time, we intend to phase out the reporting of estimated minutes watched per month and hours of uploaded video per day. We also continue to expect a sequential increase in second quarter revenues as compared to the first quarter and expect this trend to continue throughout 2024. Cost of services increased to $31.8 million for the quarter, compared to $26 million in the first quarter of 2023, due to an increase in programming and content costs of $5.3 million, hosting expenses of $0.1 million, and other service costs of $0.4 million. Moving to our cash position, we ended the first quarter of 2024 with $183.8 million in cash equivalents, and marketable securities, compared to $219.5 million as of December 31st, 2023. And as of March 31st, 2024, our programming and content agreements had a minimum contractual cash commitment of $76 million, down from $106 million at December 31st, 2023. We maintain sufficient cash to meet our ongoing capital needs. Before I conclude, I want to reiterate that with our revenue engines coming online and our guaranteed creator commitments now significantly decreasing during 2024 and into 2025, we continue to move materially towards break-even in 2025. That concludes my prepared remarks. I will now turn the call over to the operator to open up the line for questions.
Thank you. We will now be conducting a question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. A confirmation tone will indicate that your line is in the question queue. You may press star 2 if you would like to remove your question from the queue. For participants using speaker equipment, it may be necessary to pick up your handset before pressing the star keys. One moment, please, while we poll for questions. Our first question comes from Jason Helfstein with Oppenheimer. Please proceed with your question.
Everybody, so we'll just break this down to just a bunch of, kind of topics and kind of go into each. So let's start with engagement. So kind of relative to fourth quarter, U.S. MAU was down a good amount. probably a little more than we would have thought. But maybe just talk about the swing factors there, and then, obviously appreciate the comments about the sequential improvement in revenue. Maybe if you can kind of say anything about like engagement so far in the second quarter relative to first quarter. So we'll start there, and then we'll get to some of the other questions.
Hey, Jason, this is Chris. With respect to the fourth quarter of last year in Q1, we saw a major influx of MAUs coming from the sports content. In particular, like Street League skateboarding was one that did really, really well and overperformed. So we saw a lot of our sports content really push the needle on MAUs a lot further than we anticipated in Q4. And obviously that didn't really exist in Q1. So that's one of the contributing factors. The other factors are obviously geopolitical events that happened in Q4 around the world had a outsized impact on MAUs as well. So that kind of settled in Q1. With respect to Q2, we're not providing any guidance right now on Q2 outside of what we've already provided.
And then just on political, are you starting to see any pickup in political engagement, or it's still too early?
It's still too early at this point. We did see like a little pickup in January with the primary, but then that fizzled really fast. So we haven't seen that come back yet. But I would anticipate that to really pick up in the back half of 2024 and probably around the convention time.
Got it. And then, so with respect to RAC, were any ads sold through RAC in the first quarter, or that really won't start? That really didn't start until the second quarter.
Yes, so we started introducing pre-rolls in our apps through RAC. We've had a lot of advertisers sign up to RAC, and we've started moving a lot of our inventory through RAC. So yes, RAC is selling. Advertisers are now buying via RAC, and we're now executing inventory through RAC as well on both Rumble and even other publisher sites as well. So we're seeing RAC really. We saw a lot of momentum for RAC in Q1.
Okay, and so, but I mean, again, like, if you think about the different ways to sell, I mean, do you expect by the, I don't know, the end of the year, will you be then 100% through RAC, or will you still be selling through other methods as well?
By the end of the year, we think, I hope to be 100% selling through, or 95% plus selling through RAC, within the next quarter or two, for sure. We want to move all of our host-read advertising through RAC, and when it comes to programmatic, we've moved a lot of it already through RAC. And just to kind of give a little bit of insight on RAC, we saw growth sequentially both in January, February, and March as well.
Okay, and what was the offsetting factor? Because obviously the UCAN revenue was down sequentially. So what was, if RAC was up, what was down?
Well, we just introduced the pre-rolls starting in, I think it was depending on the device, it was throughout the quarter. So as we started introducing, we started to see growth in RAC. Obviously, it's coming off a smaller baseline, but we're seeing the growth there.
Okay, and then on other services and cloud revenue, that was basically flat sequentially, but you talked about some new deals and kind of momentum. Is there any offsetting factors in that line if we think about the first quarter versus the fourth quarter, and then just I guess how should we think about kind of growth in that line from here for the rest of the year?
With respect to cloud, we launched it, I think, in the last final weeks of the quarter, so we're not going to be able to provide any reasonable guidance on that because it was launched in the last couple of weeks of the quarter.
Okay. And then just specifically the comment about, maybe Brandon, if you want to answer this, so the comment move materially towards break even in 25. There's just been some questions on let's be a little more specific. Are we talking about EBITDA? Are we talking about net income? Are we talking about free cash flow? So which metric are you talking about? And then it sounds like you're saying at some point in 25, i.e. a given quarter in 25, but not for all of 25. So if you could just maybe clarify those 2 points.
Yeah, so we're not giving specific definition of that at this stage, and we'll continue to refine exactly what that definition is. But obviously, it's related to cash and the fact that our revenue engines are starting to kick in, and our creator commitment expenses are starting to close out, and that's where we start heading towards break even. But we're not giving a specific definition of what that is, and we're also not giving guidance at this stage on which quarter in particular. However, we have discussed the fact that these creator commitments have about a 12 to 36 month time frame on them, but they're mostly in the shorter range of that. So we should expect this to start happening in the mid to back half of next year.
And then just maybe lastly on the kind of content engagement side, I mean, Chris, like what are you most excited about in second quarter?
Yeah, so there's a few different things that we're looking at right now. Obviously, the election cycle kicking off at the GOP convention, we feel like we're going to be a big part of that going forward for the end of the year. But we're also starting to see a lot of traction on just like the smaller creators and the smaller live streams, and we're seeing some growth on that as well. And as we introduce the Rumble Studio product and introduce ads, we feel like we're really going to be able to fuel a lot of engagement and traction in that community. So we have seen an uptick there, and we're really looking forward to kind of pushing on both ends as we get into the end of the year here.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Our next question comes from Tom Forte with Maxim Group. Please proceed with your question.
Great, thanks. So 3 questions for me. I'll go one at a time. Chris, you talked a little about the sports content on the platform, so that part of my question was answered. But can you explain or discuss the significance of the strategic partnership with Barstool Sports?
Hey, Tom, this is Chris. So we signed a deal with Dave Portnoy and Barstool Sports in Q1. That deal encompasses multiple different things. One is obviously bringing in all their podcasts and all their shows to Rumble. 2 is that they'll be promoting Rumble as their main live streaming platform and video platform for all their video content. So we'd be the home, and there's an exclusive promotion arrangement there. And 3, we also have a cloud services arrangement with them. And 4, an advertising partnership. What we're noticing with the Barstool partnership right now is that it has helped us a lot with opening doors with brands. A lot of brands are very interested in advertising around the Barstool content. So it's been very beneficial with respect to our sales team and opening up doors there.
Great. And then for my second question, I wanted to talk about audience engagement, and then with the upcoming U.S. presidential election, what you can do, if anything, to sustain engagement following the election.
Yeah, so this is Chris again, and this is where I think like we missed an opportunity back in 2022, and here in 2024 we're going to capture that opportunity. So in 2022, our product was really lacking in many different ways. We lacked a lot of features that our competition like YouTube had or Twitch had, and most particularly YouTube. And with respect to what we've done in the last year is that we've really improved that product to create a mousetrap to really stick the users. So in 2022, during the midterms, we lost a lot of users directly after that election cycle. We saw a steep drop off right away. In 2024, we're hoping to have that big, increase in audience again in the back half of this year. But the major difference here is that we have a lot more content. It's a lot more diversified. The product is significantly better. In some cases, it's better than our competition. And I think that we'll be a lot better at sticking a big cohort of those users after this election. So it really comes down to product in my eyes and having a really, really good product. And I think that we've really executed on that in a major way through the Rumble platform and obviously the Rumble Studio, which is very unique to our competition. So if we can have the creators using that studio product and seeing the benefits of that, I think it's going to be a lot easier to stick the users on Rumble come in 2025.
Great. And then last question for me, and thanks again for taking my questions. You've talked from time to time about upgrading your user interfaces. So I was hoping you can give your current thoughts on your user interfaces for web, mobile app, and smart TV apps.
Yeah, so we've made some huge improvements. We just redid the dashboard here about a week ago, and another iteration of the design of the mobile apps that just hit as well. So we've made massive progress on this, both on OTT, mobile, and desktop. I think that our UI now is at a point where we don't receive complaints anymore. So it's really at a point where we can really help the platform and stick the users.
Great. Thanks for taking my question.
Thank you, Tom.
We have now reached the end of our question and answer session. This concludes today's teleconference. You may disconnect your lines at this time. Thank you for your participation.
So there we go. There is another earnings for Rumble. Fantastic. Well, what we're going to do now is end this broadcast as quickly as possible and send you all to the extra channel so I can then upload this Rumble earnings. So we're actually running at the moment on the extra channel with the Mobix earnings. So what we're going to do now is send you across to the extra channel so that way I can upload this video to Rumble and YouTube as its own video as well. So let's do that now. So let me end the Rumble earnings. That was a very short earnings. So let me take you now to Mobix. Mobix is good to go. Okay, fantastic. Let me give you the link to it as well if you do want to join us manually as well. So let me give that to you now. Here we go. You're very welcome, Crag. I think we pulled it off, running two at the same time. My Rumble audience, thank you so much indeed for joining me. Here's the extra channel. Soon I'm going to have a Rumble extra channel like on YouTube as well. I just need to earn a bit more money on Rumble. I'm only earning about $1 a day at the moment. I can't live on it, so I can't invest any money at the moment like I can with YouTube. But as it grows, I will invest the money I get to be able to have the extra channel as well. But at the moment, it's not possible. Okay, so there's the Rumble earnings. I'm going to end this now so I can put this Rumble earnings out as its own video as well. So there you go. Let me just make sure I've done all those things. I have. So let me clear the boards. I'll be able to upload this very shortly. There we go. And let's go over to this screen here. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. I hope you did click subscribe and ring the bell and also tap the like button as well. Oop, there we go. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. Send everybody now over to the extra channel for Mobix. Please come and join me. And then I can upload this to YouTube and Rumble. Until the morning, do come and join me now on the extra channel. Take care of yourselves and each other.